Hey guys, so this is my new channel. Not exactly new to YouTube, but this is my first channel about like what I'm doing. So basically, I just am gonna be telling stories on this account. Not gonna be like bedtime stories. They're gonna be like crazy stuff that happens in my life and fun stuff like that. I want to choose my first story as one of the most interesting ones so far, and it's actually pretty recent. We were in an English class, and it's about halfway through the day, and we were giving presentations on why we should name this new planet in our solar system. Like, we're just choosing names for this new planet. And so basically, if you don't know, there's apparently scientists believe there's a new planet in our solar system, further out than Pluto, and it's just kind of hanging out there. These people were saying the planet's name should be Kook, which is some Egyptian god, but basically they said he has no gender, and then that like he is a goddess, and so I was just kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. And so the whole point of you as a not presenter, you're basically supposed to ask questions that kind of poke holes in their presentation, make you think, wow, that shouldn't be a name. And I don't know, I just felt like Kook was a really weird name, so I needed an argument, and so the only thing I could think of was like, hey, this kind of represents transvestites, and I wouldn't really want a planet being known as a transvestite. Basically, the way this came out is I said, I don't want this planet representing transvestites, which is a lot worse than how I really wanted it to come out. Anyways, it was pretty bad, and yeah, so apparently it's also a slur, transvestite, just like, the N word, and I didn't know that. I grew up just kind of, a guy dresses like a woman, that's a transvestite. Transgender apparently that's the proper term. And anyways, so like a couple, like, I don't know, like a minute goes by, they're just like, oh, well, no, not really, so they just kind of like blank out, I don't know. And anyways, this girl in the back of the classroom, we're gonna give her the name Elizabeth. She's a usually quiet girl. She didn't like that. She didn't like, the way I used the word or the word in general, and so she raised her hand. I didn't notice because I was in the front of the classroom. She was in the back, and yeah. So she rose her hand, and she got called on, and she didn't even have anything to say about the planet. She just instantly said, "Transvestite is a slur. You cannot be using that. That is so inappropriate. I can't believe you just said that. You're a fucking transphobe." What? What was that? Anyways, the teacher was appalled. He was like, "Whoa, what is going on?" So he's like, "Hey, everyone, let's calm down here." All right, he's kind of like, "What just happened?" And he's like, "All right, so some people don't know transvestite is a slur." He kind of told me that, and so I was like, "Oh, I kind of know." And so like, but the sad part is, my first reaction is I turn around and look at her. Right as I look at her, she says, "Transphobe," and I just started laughing. I didn't mean to. I just instantly started laughing. I think that kind of pissed her off even more. I was just kind of like looking around the room a little bit. Like, all my friends were kind of chuckling about it too, because I mean, this girl just completely blew up in the middle of class. Like, all right, let's continue this presentation. And so I was just kind of like, wow, that just happened. And I look back, she's gone. All her stuff, everything, she left. Teacher didn't even say, "You can go, you can cool down." She was gone. She left. She said, "Screw you, I don't need this," and left. So the next day came around, and guess who wasn't there? Elizabeth. Elizabeth wasn't at school, and just kind of, probably hates me now. Apparently, like, teachers were talking about it as like a big thing, apparently, and some of them were offended, and I didn't know this, and so I was like, okay. He's like, if they talk to you about it, just go along with it, all right? And then he's like, okay, shit happens, whatever. And then my other teacher at the end of class, I was like walking out with my friends. He's like, "Hey, you." Yeah, yeah. know what I'm gonna talk to you about? I was like, yesterday? Yes. I was just like, what's up? And he's like, well, and then just like totally relaxed. It's like, well, apparently, like, I didn't know transvestite was a slur until like recently. But he's just like, yeah, she kind of blew it out of proportion. Shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, so, do you know why she was offended? And I was like, she's a transvestite. And he just starts laughing. He was just like, I don't know. I was just kind of laughing along with him, and he was just like, anyways, she probably has like friends like that, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And so, honestly, I was just kind of like understanding, like, yeah, she probably, was personally offended by it. Anyways, yeah, so everything's chill. She was back the next day, everything was fine. 1 week later, I was just walking in the halls, coming into English class, and there's a female teacher kind of standing right in my way. And I was like, excuse me, and I just kind of try to walk by. She puts her hand on my chest. She's like, are you the one that talked about transvestites in English class? And I was like, yeah. And so she kind of pulled me over to her classroom. And I was like, what's going on here? She's like, so, and then closes the door, and I was like, oh, that's scary. And then she says, so I don't appreciate the fact that you were talking about transvestites like the way you were. I thought this was a kind conversation. And she was pissed. She like started out calm. She was pissed. Like, this happened a couple days ago, and she I felt like she didn't even like let go of the topic. She was thinking about it day and night, didn't even sleep. Anyways, she instantly says, like, you can't be bagging on transvestites the way you were. Like, that's not cool. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. She's, like, making me out like I just instantly said transvestites are the worst beings in the world. No, I kind of misspoke, but also not at all said that. Not even close. And she was just doing all this, and then the bell rang, and I was like, oh, I gotta get to class. She's like, well, where do you think you're going? Like, I tried leaving. I was like, I gotta get to class. And she's like, no. She, like, starts writing me a referral. And I was like, what? She's like, I'm gonna be giving this to your English teacher. And I was like, all right, can I go? And she's like, leave. I was like, oh, thank God. I left. I went into English, and afterwards, I kind of talked to him. I was like, yeah, this lady's kind of freaking out. He's like, was she this person? I was like, I don't know her. I don't know her name. I don't know. He's like, did she look like this? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh. I was like, oh, what? He's like, nothing. Go. And so I don't know what exactly happened, but I never got a detention. Nothing ever happened, and yeah. So that kind of instance just there, and Elizabeth kind of just looks at me with a nasty look sometimes, and I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah. Hopefully you like this story. This is my first video ever. Yeah, subscribe if you like it. I'm gonna be making a lot more. I already have 4 other stories ready, and yeah, please subscribe. I don't care if you like, but if you dislike, I'm gonna cut your dick off. Not really, but please do like and subscribe, and have a good day. Bye.